Good evening, Tallahassee. I'm student meteorologist Sloan Haynes.
And I'm student meteorologist Dylan Leith here. Woke up to a wonderful morning this morning, temperatures in the 50s, feeling just absolutely gracious.
It almost felt like I was at home. And if you watched Tuesday, Dylan talked about how he was going to wear a fleece-lined jacket today, perhaps, and I can confirm that statement. He did.
Well, partially because it is cold outside and also cold in my lab, so it's a dual cover.
Okay.
But even this afternoon when I was walking back from my class, I honestly thought a jacket was a little nice. Again, not the best. I'd like it a little colder, but better conditions.
For me, it felt like summer almost. Being from New Jersey, it's sort of the transition into summer.
Gotcha.
So I wore a short sleeve shirt.
Yeah, no,
different types of people,
Right,
but it was still a
exactly.
beautiful day. This morning was great, and you were telling me this concept of a cool 75.
Right, so 75 sometimes might feel a little hot because you got the sun beating down on you, but with that blanket of clouds that we've had all day, well, you feel just right at home.
And the winds are really nice. It was just a very refreshing day from the heat we've been facing a lot this semester in Tallahassee.
Right. The only downside, though, is the clouds, again, keeping it cool, but making it feel just a tad gloomy. I don't know, it's a little dark outside.
I still think it was great. I'll take this weather over the 95-degree weather that we had in the beginning.
Yeah, exactly. But if you want the cloud cover to stay, we're going to have that continue throughout the rest of this weekend mostly. And so we're going to keep this pattern just for one more day, and then we're going to see a bit of a shift.
We'll talk more about the rain chances later on the show from PTC 16. And we're going to head things over to the wall with Evan to give you the overview.
Thank you very much, Sloan. I am a big fan of cloud cover myself, especially when it prevents those 95-degree temperatures all over that's been happening for the past week. But today we are looking fairly comfortable. 74 has been our high today. Those lows hitting finally on average. If we were looking on our show compared to last week, we're looking at all of our highs and lows way above average. Now we're finally starting to dim down, definitely quite a bit down, definitely from our record high last year at 90 degrees we were hitting last year. But that cloud coverage really keeping all of the cool air really trapped in and really blocking out much of the radiation from reaching and warming up Tallahassee, as we've known it to be very hot. But this tropical system will help to bring a lot of that heat back in, bringing in some tropical warmth and some tropical system air from the Gulf of Mexico with those outer bands and be the giant rainmaker for this weekend. But that high pressure system will definitely help to bring it out quickly and definitely very quickly in a matter of a day. But we're looking at cloudy conditions for tomorrow at 71 degrees before that system hits, and then we'll start to look at what that tropical system is going to bring for our weekend. Hopefully it won't ruin things too much for us in our lifestyle forecast. But for now, we'll head off to Salone with a look at how our entire country is doing right now.
Thank you so much, Evan. We're going to take a look at the nation right now. Some cloud cover in the southeast, which Evan just hit on a bit for us, and Jill and I talked about in the opening desk. As we look towards the Midwest, we see some sunshine, some clouds out there, 52 degrees in Chicago, and as we begin to move across, we see 56 and raining in Seattle, the type of weather that we think they're known for. And then towards the eastern portion of the U.S., we're looking at Boston. They also have cloud cover too. Dew point wise, are fairly dry as a nation, with Florida down here being the exception. 43 for Tallahassee, but then 71 in Miami. Out west, a little drier, 6 in Denver, 28 in Albuquerque. But taking a look at our wind speeds, variable winds, we do see where we're starting to have rotation, especially in the northeast. They have that counterclockwise rotation, that nor'easter they were just affected by, which we can see right here, which brought a lot of rain to the Massachusetts and Maine area, causing about 500,000 people to be without power right now. We do have a high pressure system creeping towards us in the southeast, causing it to be fairly dry, and then over in the western portion, some dry air coming in along the Texas area. Here's that high pressure I just talked about, and we have this front beginning to move across the nation, which is really going to guide PTC 16, and then this is going to be the next system that begins to move across the nation. Taking a look at PTC 16, we do have a tropical storm watch in effect for Leon County for it. It's expected to hit us Friday into Saturday, rain being one of the biggest threats, and then taking a look out west towards Washington. Here we see the showers and storms getting to move onshore through the area from that cold front that is creeping its way across. And here's that nor'easter. It's making headlines across the nation. I know, again, I said Boston area and Maine were hit very hard the amount of rain. They got over 5 inches in some parts, causing some minor flooding and a little bit of a temperature drop, not too extreme, but it was still a nor'easter. Looking at the drought monitor, south is fairly dry, including the west where they have a severe drought in portions of Nevada, New Mexico, Denver, and Utah. And then for us in Tallahassee, we are in an extreme drought in portions of the Panhandle, and much of the southeast is abnormally dry. Storm outlook, we do have that thunderstorm risk for the state of Florida, as well as a marginal risk for severe weather along the coast. Tonight, though, nice conditions, some rain in the forecast for Tallahassee and the New Orleans area, but then clear skies in Memphis and clear skies in D.C., and then out west, clear skies in L.A. And then tomorrow, nice day. The sun is out for much of the Midwest. Rain again in Seattle as that front begins to move through. And taking a look at Tallahassee, maybe some shower chances. Now I'm going to pass things off to Dylan and take a look at Tallahassee.
Thank you very much, Sloan. And while our cam makes it look a bit cloudy, there are no shower chances here in Tallahassee right now. Nice cloud cover, keeping us just a little bit cooler and much more comfortable. And our current temperatures right now, 72 degrees. It's nice, and we're going to cool down into this evening, but not cool as much as we did the following evening, as that blanket of clouds will keep the warm conditions just a little bit there for us. A nice breeze, though, at 5 miles per hour. And our satellite radar, you really can see that blanket of clouds all over our region and most of the state of Florida. This is welcome for us and make it feel more mild, but no rain as well, so that's good for now. But this is all associated with PTC 16 that is out in the east, in the Gulf. And you can see that right here. You see all that outflow, which is flow that's coming out of those storms and that system. You see some rain coming onto the southeast of the U.S. right now, but this is expected to move farther eastward and bring us a lot of rain. And with that front that's moved out, we've got some clearer conditions because of that, but this front right here is the one that's going to clear PTC 16 out of our area, and the front behind that bring us more cooler conditions once that's done. But again, as we look at our area temperatures, seeing mid to lower 70s, much more comfortable today than it has been the last couple of weeks. These cloud covers, you can't really see them on the sky icons, but it's definitely there. It's definitely cloudy all over the region. And our dew points, much lower as well. Look at these 40s. We might start getting into chapstick season right now with these dew points so low, but again, dry as that map looks, white, just perfect conditions outside. Tonight, though, we're going to start to see those rain chances pick up with the storms kind of moving on into our area. 63 degrees is our low tonight, so warmer than our low of 57, but much better conditions for that. And then as we get into the next 7 days, you got rain chances sticking around tomorrow and Friday. And then getting into Saturday, we get 80% chance of rain, but those move out by the evening, leaving for a nice Sunday at a high of 80 and 61 as our low. Then we get the next rainmaker with that second front on Monday and Tuesday. Back to more better conditions for that on Wednesday and Thursday.
Thank you so much, Dylan. Yeah, we're going to talk actually about that rainmaker that's coming our way this weekend. I was actually talking about this last week on how hurricane season is not over now, is it, Zach?
No, absolutely not. And you can see here the potential tropical cyclone that we keep saying PTC. That stands for potential tropical cyclone. And it's a relatively new designation by the National Hurricane Center. Basically, it allows them to issue those tropical storm watches and warnings, as well as give us the forecast cone and the other graphics that we're used to without it really getting the name just yet.
Right, so it has not been named. This is really just a rainmaker is what we're looking at right now. Although it does have those winds, it's not going to be associated with those excessively high damaging winds that we did see with some other systems in the past, just like a lot of people are referring to storms like Michael that we saw just last year. Here's that forecasting track. It's supposed to head up here around Saturday, really, is what we're looking at. We're going to start feeling the effects tomorrow evening, though.
Right, yeah, and it's important to note this cone did come out at 2 o'clock this afternoon, and the cones, even though the Hurricane Center puts out the new advisory every 3 hours, the cone only updates 4 times a day, every 6 hours. So at 8 p.m. tonight, we're going to get a little bit of update with that track and see if the model has shifted it anywhere.
Right. We're really expecting it to impact much of the Florida Panhandle and then work its way up the East Coast into states like Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina. And then here you can actually see where those tropical advisories are. We got the tropical storm warning really all along the Gulf Coast, ranging from as far west as New Orleans all the way to close to Tallahassee. And then we've got that tropical storm watch as well, which means conditions could be expected.
And the key here is, wind is not going to be the greatest threat with this system, whatever it ends up being. Mostly, honestly, there could be some severe weather with the system that we're going to have to watch in the interior parts of the Big Bend area, over towards Gainesville in the central part of the state. But also, it's going to be a nice rainmaker. We've been talking about the drought, and finally, this is like the perfect system.
It is. It really is. It's going to help us get out of that drought, at least make progress towards getting out of that drought.
Absolutely.
Although it is causing some disruption for some weekend plans. I know the Tallahassee Science Festival was canceled, right, postponed till a later date, and I'm sure I have weekend plans that are probably going to get postponed as well because of this, but it's much needed for our area.
Absolutely, yeah, it does tend to happen, but we're going to pass it off now to Dylan with another look at the National.
Thank you very much, Zach. And as we sweep across the nation, we've got comfortable conditions in the center part with Kansas City at 66. Once that front has moved through and they're not seeing influences from PT16, well, they're getting great conditions. Out west, though, you do see that next frontal system bringing a little more uncooperative conditions at 56 degrees and rain in Seattle and 69 in Salt Lake City with just a bit of clouds. And down into the southeast, well, you still got that bit of warm spot that the southeast is known for in Miami. Well, it's sticking out like a sore thumb down there. And as we go into our dew points, though, staying relatively clear throughout much of the country, you do see some influx where that front hadn't made its way through, and so you do have some higher dew points in Miami at 71. And you start to see a little bit of an influx down south of San Antonio. You do see these higher green colors indicating a bit more moisture as PTC 16 moves into that area and increases the moisture there. You can already start to see the effects in New Orleans at 53 as their dew point, but clear throughout the rest of the country. And that next front, you really kind of see where it is with a 6-degree dew point in Denver. And then looking at the winds, you do have that offshore winds bringing in some windier conditions, some more Gulf moisture the Pacific moisture into Portland and Seattle. And then down into the southeast, you start to see that high pressure system make its clockwise rotation behind the front. And then going into our water vapor map, you do see clear conditions behind that first front, but you do see PTC 16 bringing in moist conditions, but even bringing in dry conditions with it as well into Houston and Dallas once that system has moved through. And you see those rain bands start to come onto the country. The radar coverage isn't the best in that area, so you only see a little bit of spotty rain, but as that system moves closer to the U.S., you'll see a better picture of what the rain looks like. High pressure, though, really dominating the eastern part of the country in between that frontal system and PTC 16, and this frontal system is going to clear it out and make it move fast, which is great, not bringing strong conditions with it, just a rainmaker for that. And as we zoom in a bit, you do see those showers move on into Corpus Christi, Brownsville, some nice light showers, nothing too intense right now, but we'll see a bit of a change into tomorrow, and our next frontal system bringing a little stronger showers over into Seattle. You can even get some snow with these showers as you go into higher elevations. You even see a little bit over here into that area. And then going into the East Coast with that front that passed through our area, brought the nice conditions. Well, it's dumping still some rain and even some stronger storms into Burlington, even some snow into Canada. But again, that system's on its way out. And with PTC 16 moving through our area, bringing us a lot of rain, it's really hitting the bullseye on this dry conditions that's come out today. This is the drought monitor updated today. So it's really going to bring a lot of rain to this area that's in extreme and severe drought as well. And as we go into tomorrow, you do see that strong possibility of some marginal risk for the severe storms with that storm moving eastward. And then getting down into tonight's forecast, you get cooler conditions as that front kind of sticks around, and that next front moves eastward in Denver, seeing a low of 34. And then tomorrow, a bit more of a rainmaker for the southeast, seeing some rainy conditions here in Tallahassee and New Orleans as well. But now let's give it over to Jessica, talk about more of the southeast and break down.
Yeah, thank you, Dylan. Guys, as he just said, southeast, it's looking so much better than it did last week and the few weeks before that. Temperatures really looking so much more comfortable. We got 70 in Montgomery, 72 in Tallahassee, even in the 60s up in Atlanta. Looking down at Tampa and Miami, there is that defined point where that stalled front is sitting. Temperatures are just a little bit warmer down there. Here are those dew points, such dry air in much of the southeast region. In Jackson, Montgomery, Atlanta at 37, Tallahassee at 43, and then once again South Florida having those much higher dew points, 67 in Tampa, 65 in Orlando. Those wind speeds are still pushing towards the southeast from that front that came through. Just a little bit of a breeze in Jackson, Tupelo, Montgomery, all around 5 to 6 miles per hour. And even down south, they're still feeling a little bit of that breeze, still pointing to the southeast. Now here is that potential tropical cyclone that is moving towards our area, providing some cloud cover over the next few hours and into the rest of the weekend. However, it is going to squeeze right between this high pressure system and this stalled front sitting right down on top of the Florida Peninsula. It's going to move fairly quickly, but it is going to produce some of that rain. Our area has needed the rain, so it's going to be beneficial. Here's all that moisture just hanging out all around this rainmaker. Tallahassee is going to feel a lot more muggy going into the beginning of next week. As we're looking into the weekend, here's that rain coming up into the southeast, really cloud cover all over Alabama, Georgia, and especially the Florida Panhandle. And this is once again just going to help our drought conditions. We are in a severe drought currently, along with really much of the southeast, feeling the effects of very little rain. Tonight, it's going to be absolutely beautiful. 63 in Tallahassee with that chance of rain. Really, a lot of the southeast is seeing cloudy conditions. Temperatures are going to be in the 60s. Tomorrow, it's going to be another great day with much of the southeast in the low 70s and high 60s, while Miami is going to stick at a nice warm 89. I'm going to go ahead and pass things off to Sloan for a second local look.
Thank you so much, Jessica. Today was a great start. This morning was nice and cool and comfortable. I opened up the windows in my room. We have some sun peeking out right now, but clouds have rolled through the area. As Dylan said, it's been a cool 75 due to that cloud cover we had today. Currently, we're at 72 degrees and now, or 72. It's a cool 72. Cloudy conditions are going to continue throughout the evening, and we have winds from the north-northwest at 5 miles per hour. Here we can see the clouds moving across our area into the Tallahassee region, and taking a look at the nation or the southeast rather as a whole. We do have PTC 16 right here, which is going to be our rainmaker, as we've been saying, going Friday into Saturday for Tallahassee. And rain is going to be very helpful to us as we have those drought-like conditions still. Here's that high pressure system that we talked about that's been sitting in the northern portion of the southeast. And then here's that front that's going to start to guide PTC 16 away from our area, quickly moving it away, causing us not to have as detrimental weather as we would. Taking a look at the temperatures throughout the region, 70 in Thomasville and 68 in Quincy. Dew points, again, we're fairly dry, and this weekend, as Jessica just said, we're going to get a little bit more muggier as we get more moisture into the area. Looking at tonight, 62 for Monticello, 62 for Bainbridge, and 60 for Quincy, 63 here in Tallahassee. But look at these rain chances we have into the evening hours. So if you're going to be out and about tonight, an umbrella or a rain jacket would be a great idea for you. And especially as it gets dark outside driving, I would just stay off the roads as road conditions aren't ideal as there is rain falling on the ground. So taking a look Friday into Saturday, we have an 80% chance of rain on both days as PTC 16 moves throughout the Big Bend region. But then Sunday back into the 80s with the sun out, and then those rain chances pick right back up again Monday and Tuesday as our temperatures stay in the 80s. We're heating up only to cool back down on Wednesday at 76, and the sun comes out. Some clouds here and there, but it's going to be a beautiful evening despite those rain chances. But make sure you have that umbrella on you for the next few days. Now I'm going to pass things off to Jessica for a look at the lifestyle.
Guys, I'm so excited to show you what we got going on this weekend. Although we have that rainmaker coming, there's still plenty of options currently. It's a little cloudy outside. It makes it for a nice, cool night. It was a great, cool day. Not too much sunshine out there, and we're going to expect that moving into tomorrow. Before that rain comes, we are still going to have that cloud cover, and then the precipitation is going to hit later tomorrow night. Now, unfortunately, it is midterm season, so if you're looking to be at Strozier tonight, we're looking at 75 inside. It's actually going to be a little cooler outside tonight. Maybe you might want to sit outside instead of inside, do a little bit of studying. Maybe you got a test tomorrow. If you're planning on going out, having a fun night, tomorrow night, it's going to be beautiful, 63 degrees, little bit of a breeze as we're looking at that system coming in. We're looking forward to potentially there being little rain, but definitely keep an eye on that. Might want to bring a rain jacket. And guys, don't forget about the Halloween circus show that's going to be going on. Once again, it's going to be 63. You might want to go check that out as well. If you're looking to go on a date on Saturday, keep in mind that it is going to rain. Looking at the towards the end of Saturday night, we are expecting rain with that potential tropical cyclone, that rainmaker we keep talking about. It's going to be there on Saturday, but that doesn't mean you still can't go out, have a great night indoors, or maybe stay home, watch a movie inside. Sunday morning, planning on going to church or having brunch, it's going to be a little bit warmer from that tropical moisture, that tropical air. Looking at 80 degrees that morning, just a little bit of a breeze. It's going to be beautiful. And if you're looking to stargaze that night, it's going to be a great night to do so. It's going to be almost a full moon. We just passed that last week as we have that waxing crescent. So definitely check that out. Take advantage of that. Over the next 3 days, we're going to be seeing that rain this weekend. Temperatures are going to rise just a little bit going into the beginning of next week, but it's not going to be as miserable as it has been. I'm going to go ahead and pass things off to Evan. He's going to give us a look at Florida.
Thank you very much, Jesse. And we are looking really at where the stationary front has hit and where it is not. Those cool temperatures, where they affected and where they have not. So Pensacola, Tallahassee looking up in the lower 70s. Meanwhile, still Orlando, Fort Myers, and definitely Miami looking at the high 80s and mid 80 degree range. Remember this last week? Tallahassee was up in the mid 90s about 2 weeks ago, where most of this peninsula has been in the mid 80s. So not much of a change for the peninsula, staying hot and muggy down there, while Tallahassee and Pensacola have finally seen the relief, especially with these drier dew points. 43 for Tallahassee and 50 for Jacksonville. Meanwhile, Fort Myers, 71 hitting on their dew points. That is a 20-degree dew point difference, and it has made a huge mark and a huge change in between the peninsula and the Panhandle region. 89 for Miami and 87 for Miami on Saturday, hitting that region. More of the rain is going to hit them on Sunday with an 80% chance, so if you want to definitely get more activities there done, make sure it's earlier in the weekend, Friday and Saturday. As for Tampa, that tropical system definitely going to be coming starting in on Friday with those outer banks. More of a presence on Saturday, but Sunday is when we'll finally start things definitely cool off a little bit more than that. Orlando, definitely make sure Friday or Sunday is your Disney or Adventure Park day. I hope you're going to be able to skip between indoor rides on Saturday if that's the day you plan on going. Similar story for Jacksonville, 90-degree chance of rain there as well on Saturday. Pensacola, we're looking for more of those rain chances looking on Friday, especially with a 67-degree high. That should be really cool and really nice if you can just sit on a balcony and watch the nice, cool rain fall from there. High pressure system is what's going to bring this tropical cyclone really into our area and push it down further east, especially with that quick speed, as most of these tropical cyclones usually take about like 3 or 4 days to pass by through our area, but this one usually should take only about 1 full day, which should be good news for us. A little bit of some light showers that pass by through Miami area, but besides that, just mainly cloud cover all across the Panhandle region, which has cooled our temperatures down a lot, and it should help our drop monitor as well, as we're looking with this tropical cyclone maybe to push up a little bit of rain up into Pensacola quickly into the weekend and thoroughly. You see definitely the picture on Friday, 6 p.m. As we're looking into Friday night, cooler temperatures still remaining until that tropical cyclone really starts to bring in the heat come tomorrow and Saturday, with Fort Myers up to 90 degrees and most of our Florida region looking at some rain. But now I'm going to head off things with Zach with a look at our last local.
Thanks, Evan. Yeah, one last look at the local here. We're going to dig into what's going on outside. Mostly cloudy, overcast conditions right now, looking at beautiful Doak Campbell Stadium with our FSU Weather Stem camera. Currently, it's 72 degrees, mostly cloudy, winds out of the north-northwest as that front has brought those northerly winds to our area, keeping us cool. Satellite and radar, mostly cloudy conditions, really over the whole Big Bend region. The story's been the same pretty much all day today. Zooming out at our big picture here, you can see Tallahassee, we're right on the fringe of the potential tropical cyclone down here in the Gulf, which is going to be moving up into this region really over the next 24 hours or so. Zooming out further into the big picture, scooter across here, you can see the high pressure area really dominating over the southeast here, and potential tropical cyclone down here in the Gulf. That's going to kind of move up and between the high pressure system and the stationary front. You can see another front back up here towards Billings and Denver. That's going to come in probably middle part of next week. Nothing to really worry about right now, but it might bring us another chance for some light showers and thunderstorms. Temperatures right now around the Big Bend region, 70 in Thomasville, 69 degrees in Perry, 70 in Valdosta, an absolutely gorgeous day. Looking into the dew points right now, 46 in Thomasville, 56 in Perry, a little closer to the coast, and Valdosta up here at 50 degrees. Dew points literally 20 degrees cooler than we were this time last week. You're really going to be able to tell the difference. Tonight's forecast into the 60s, lower 60s, mid 60s here in the Gulf, St. Mark's, and a couple of those scattered showers. Can't rule out that possibility. Looking here at the 7-day forecast, tomorrow we're really going to start keeping those rain chances up. The graphic doesn't show up, but we do have an 80% chance of rain. Highs around 70, maybe into the lower 70s. 79 for Saturday with those scattered showers and storms, and into the 80s as we get into Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. We're keeping those scattered rain chances around, but really not too much going on for the rest of your week. Now I'm going to pass it back off to the desk with Dylan and Evan to close out the show.
Thank you very much, Zach, and we really wish all the best for those trying to prepare, definitely with this tropical storm and tropical system.
Yeah, luckily, as we've said multiple times, it's fast moving, not long lived, so it'll be in and out of our area by Sunday. So it's a very quick system.
Definitely, and I know we usually say to bulk up for like 3 or 4 days sometimes when these tropical systems come in, but with this definitely high speed, definitely, I think the thing to say in general is make sure you're not really out on the roads, not making much activity. Don't plan for much really come Saturday.
Yeah, they issue those tropical storm warnings and watches for a reason. They want you folks to stay in home, be safe during these events, because, again, there's nothing really that important to do in times of this. Your safety is more important.
I already know a lot has been canceled around the city of Tallahassee on Saturday, including our Tallahassee Science Festival already has been canceled in our area. So.
Yeah, exactly. And the way to treat this event would be more of a severe weather event rather than a tropical event because, again, the tropical impacts aren't that great. You're looking at more severe weather on Saturday.
Absolutely. And definitely a risk for more tornadic activity, actually, more than usual with some of these tropical systems. So definitely keep the eye close and definitely be weather alert.
Yeah, this will be a storm that most meteorologists study for a while because it's very interesting in its formation and its categorization. So it's definitely interesting for us here.
Absolutely. And if you want to keep up on the system, we'll definitely keep you updated on our Facebook, on our YouTube.
Watch our show tomorrow as we'll give a better update as new information does come out and the forecast changes.
Absolutely. And follow us on Instagram. If you're anywhere along the coast, especially stay safe. Keep us updated.
Yep,
Definitely.
But for all of us here at FSU Weather, I'm student meteorologist Dylan Leith.
I'm student meteorologist Evan Thomas, and have a great night and stay safe.
Stay safe.